Guys, how's it going? Back with another video today. By the title of this video, I'm sure you can see what type of video it's going to be today. It's going to be a lot of eating as such. I'm going to film this over the next 2 days, and the way I'm going to do it is today I'm going to follow my own student diet, and then tomorrow I'm going to follow Ronaldo's diet. I took inspiration from this after trying Ronaldo's training plan and really enjoying it, so I thought I'd maybe give the diet a go. The way I'm going to then work this out or see what is more beneficial, I'm going to guess now it's Ronaldo's, but just to show in regards to the price difference and then in regards to the macros within the diet as well, I'm going to put that towards my training, and then tomorrow I'm going to do another different training session, which will probably be push, and then I'm going to then just compare the two of them. And I've been doing my new block of training for the past 3 weeks now, so I have a really good indication from using my normal diet to see how I'm getting on, and then I can really make a good estimation to see how good Ronaldo's diet actually is then. So the first meal of the day is some choco rice pops. I would get these from Sainsbury's or Tesco's, just depending on the price of them or what one's cheaper. They normally come in around 80p a box, I believe, maybe a bit dearer than that, I can't remember exactly, but I'll get all the prices and put them up on the screen for you anyway. But yeah, so cheap meals just to keep me going throughout the day then. When usually eating, I would like to track and record my food, but as I'm not using scales today, as I don't think any students would have scales, I'm just trying to go off what I would eat then, or what I think would be an acceptable amount to eat. So specifically for this meal here with my Cocoa Pops, I think this would be maybe about 80 grams, and I would have about 200 mils of milk with it. Alright, so I had the cereal about 10 minutes ago and it still has not made a dent into my appetite whatsoever. So now I've picked myself up a whole bagel here and I've just put some butter on it. So yeah, as you can see, I would say there's probably about 5 grams of butter on each bit of the bagel. So there would be a total of 10 grams then of butter. So when I have a bit of free time, I like to just head out and we walk so I can kind of like just fill up a bit more so I'm not feeling too hungry throughout the day. So I'm just out and we walk now, just kind of take my mind off food in regards to just eating crap, because usually for me I would try and eat not as much as possible. Today obviously it's just eating a pure student diet, so there will be a lot more higher fat foods in my diet today. Okay, so getting dried up from a walk now, I'm going to have another meal as such. So I'm going to have some 0% fat yogurt from Tesco's. That was about 89p or so, and then I'm going to have some of these Fox's cookies as well, just to keep me going until I get my lunch then. Okay, so I've added a scoop of protein because at the end of the day, we are still trying to make gains. So yeah, just adding a bit of protein to bump it up. So it's saying here there's about 250 grams of yogurt. As you can see around the side there, I've added toffee drops from my protein, and then just a scoop of protein then as well, which is white chocolate. Alright, so the next meal I'm having today is literally just some southern fried chicken chips. As you can see there with some red sauce on the side. And along that as well, I stopped off at the shop and picked up myself a green monster. So I'm going to eat this now just as like a lunch snack type thing. And again, yeah, I'll put the price of it on the screen as well for you. So yeah, you can kind of see what kind of price I'm on for today so far. For later on as well, I'm maybe planning about getting some takeaway or something, so we'll see what happens. So I'm going to sit down, finishing eating off the chicken and chips now, and as well as that I'm watching the American Killer Next Door thing that's on Netflix at the moment. So yeah, it's pretty good at the moment, so I'm going to continue watching the rest of that then as well. So I made the rookie mistake of eating some of my dinner before videoing it, but here it is anyway. I'm having a pepperoni passion while I'm watching some Money Heist as well. On top of that as well, I got a Nutella pizza, and I've only tried a wee bit of it so far, but it's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy myself with all of this food. Also, one final wee thing, see if you don't get or don't use the garlic and herb dips, there's definitely something wrong with you, because that just makes the pizza 10 times better as well. So if you don't eat it, then try it, and if you don't like it, well then there's something wrong with you. Good morning guys, it's currently day 2 at the moment. So today is going to be eating Ronaldo's diet. As yesterday you would have seen, then it was me eating my student diet as such, or a student diet. And I just wanted to talk about it very quickly and just to say how I'm feeling today and things like that. So for instance, this morning I woke up like really tired and crappy and wanting to go back to sleep and feeling really lethargic and all. Whereas normally I wouldn't feel like that when I'm following my own diet. So that's definitely a downfall or a pitfall to eating the way I was yesterday. On top of that as well, the amount of food that I ate and the amount of grease, I was just feeling really, really full. But then again, very quickly, I was starting to get hungry, so I was trying to put off the amount of food that I was eating. So there's definitely reasons, or in my opinion, to show anyway, that it's maybe not the best idea to be eating all the food that you can in regards to just being fat and takeaways and things like that. Maybe it's sometimes good to try and do a bit of meal prep, of ban some clean and healthy foods that you have to eat throughout the day so that you will feel fuller for longer as well. So that's just kind of one of my things that I just wanted to let you know about now. But I'm going to go into more detail tomorrow when I'm reviewing Ronaldo's diet to see the overall differences and benefits that I feel from today then. Okay, so the first meal of today is going to be an egg white omelette, as you can see here, and then I've got some oats on the side as well, so I'm going to make them now and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so for my breakfast this morning, as you've seen, there's 3 egg whites or from full eggs in here. I've got a cup of porridge or oats, and it would say that Ronaldo would have it as whole meal, but I didn't have any, so it was the closest thing that I could get to it. And then along with that as well, I would have a glass of apple juice or fruit juice, it says on his diet. As well as that, he would have some pastries, but I didn't have any, so that's the only thing that I'm missing out from his diet today. Okay, so it's about 5-6 hours later now, and I'm just gonna have, as you've seen, some chicken, and it says in Ronaldo's diet whole wheat pasta, but I only had 50-50. So I'm gonna have this for then some mayonnaise as well, just to kind of keep everything going. Hey guys, so I wanted to just take you through a commentary today of my gym workout. At the moment I'm doing a 5x5 split, which means I'm doing higher volume in regards to weight and then lower reps as a result. So I started off with some chest flies just so that I could pre-exhaust my chest before I moved on to a bit of bench press then. So from here I'm starting off with 80 kilos on the bar, and I'm just really focusing on making sure that I can feel the squeeze and working on my form as best as possible throughout the whole movement. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting the bar right down to my chest so that I'm breaking down the muscle fibers as best as possible so that I can work on them. I then after this decided to put the weight up to 85 kilos. So again, I'm just really trying to test my strength and see where I'm at with everything. In that aspect, I just want to make sure that I'm going through the movement and each week just trying to increase the weight as much as possible just so that I can really challenge myself, as you can see in the last rep there. I then next moved on to some single arm rows. So again, I just want to make sure that I'm putting my shoulder up and then moving the weight right through the movement just as best as I can. So you can just see it from both sides here that I'm really working the muscle well. After this, I then went on to some T-bar rows. Again, it's just really trying to focus on building up my back as best as possible and just really want to focus on making the best movement as possible. After this, I moved on to some lat pull downs. I'm just really trying to focus on the squeeze, and as you can see, my arms are about a shoulder width apart away from my body. So I just want to make sure that I can get that good W shape the whole way throughout the movement. And I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm feeling the squeeze right at the bottom. So I just I'll hold it for about a second there. Finally, I then moved on to some incline bench.
At the moment, I'm not too sure with what the weight on the bar is, but I would roughly say I'm pushing up about 60 kilos here, maybe, in my opinion, overall. And I'm really, really good with that. But at the same time, you can see how much I'm struggling there. But I'm really happy with how my strength's been able to increase over the past number of weeks. So, yeah, for the next number of weeks, I'm just going to keep working on it as best as I can.
Okay, so I'm just out of the shower after my run there. Really good, feeling fresh after that. So now I have my dinner in the oven cooking. So I'm going to get that sorted and then I'll show you what I'm having. Okay guys, the last snack that I'm going to have today is just a small chocolate bar. That's what it says the Ronaldo has and some evenings of his dad. So I'm going to use that then for the rest of my food for today. I would just want to say in regards from yesterday and today, I definitely feel a lot more energetic and I definitely feel that I could have went longer between periods of eating food, which therefore is good because then it shows that you're not going to be eating crappy foods and high fat foods throughout the day, which is what you want to try and utilize, especially if your goal is fat loss. Although if your goal is for muscle gain or weight gain, then it wouldn't be the worst thing to maybe incorporate both foods into your diet, because this will allow you then to help hopefully bulk up to what your weight or your goal weight is such. So it's definitely something that I would say that make sure you're not following a student diet. If you are, I did it just to show the benefits that it had, which was virtually nothing, apart from the fact that the food tasted lovely the whole time. But even at that, the food that I was having from Ronaldo's diet was lovely as well. I would definitely eat some of the food more often. The fish was lovely today, so it's definitely something that I think I'm going to incorporate into my diet more. In regards to my training as well, I definitely feel like I was able to push a wee bit harder, and I definitely feel like if you are really trying to focus on muscle gain, then make sure that you're eating clean foods before your training so that you can get the best from your workout, so that you can utilize everything you've got so you have the best performance each time that you're training. I'm definitely going to make sure that I focus on things like that more so that I can really push my off season now before I start my diet next year. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them down below and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability to try and help you as well if you are wondering about anything. So anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to share, like and subscribe to the video, as it really helped me a lot. And yeah, it's going to be everything for today. So until next time, goodbye.